Alright, so we're here at Trajan's column. This monument can be separated into three pieces. We have the top where the statue, the shaft, which is the shaft, and then the bottom portion, which is the base, but it's also a chamber. So this column was created in memory of the victory of the against the war against the Dacians. This was actually built in AD 113. It stands at 98 feet, but if you include the pedestal, then it's 125 feet. Let's start from the top. This is a statue. It used to be the statue of the Emperor Trajan, but in Yep, but then it was later it was changed to Saint Peter, which is currently what's up there right now. There are some coins that circulate around during the construction of the column, and there's it shows that there was plans to put in the statue of an eagle up there, but that never happened. It was only the after construction that they put the statue of the Emperor Trajan. Now, if you took a look at the shaft, there's a frieze that wraps around it. It wraps around about 23 times, and it's about 625 feet. So what basically is on there is it tells the story of the victory against the Dacians. However, let me see. Sorry.
You're fine.
So the entire thing is made out of marble, and if you take, let's talk this. So like, there's only 18 scenes that are actually about the war, and the rest are mainly just scenes from daily activities that the army went through. There's at least 2,500 figures or people drawn on there, and Emperor Trajan appears about at least 60 times on there. Okay. So after Emperor Trajan died, the Senate voted to have his ashes in the chamber at the bottom over here. Let me see if you can actually see it. There's actually like a doorway to go in there, and inside of the monument or the column, it's hollow. There's a stairway that spirals all the way up, and if you reach the top, there's like a little terrace, I guess, in which Emperor Trajan could be seen from. So so his ashes were placed in there, which is very uncommon because Rome had a rule that only heroes could be buried within the city limits, and like other of the, I guess, royal families, emperors, all that stuff, they were buried outside of the city limits. But that didn't happen with Trajan. He was actually buried here, as well as his wife, but his ashes were actually stolen. I'm not sure during when, but it was stolen, so it's not there anymore. But the purpose of this monument, a lot of them believe, is a victory monument to show the victory against the Dacians. But there's also another purpose that they believe. They believe it was propaganda. Because there's a lot of the reasons for believing this is that to see the statue of Emperor Trajan, people are forced to see up into the sun, up towards heaven. So it made him appear godly and on earth, godly. And if you actually try to read the story, you can't read it in a straight line. So you'd have to walk around in the circles, and you would have to walk in circles in order to actually see the story. And so a lot of people believe that it served as a tombstone, and people are forced to participate in the ancient Roman funeral rituals. But there's a lot of discrepancies because about this monument, especially because people can't see it from far away, especially the frieze. So and before, here in the Trajan Forum, there were 2 libraries on either side, so it was cramped, and like there was very, very little space for people. But there's also another reason for propaganda is that it's a picture. It's a picture, and so like people who are illiterate or can't read or so they are able to like actually participate in this. So that was one advantage. But also within the frieze, you can't see it quite well right now, but there are also included the gods. They include Jupiter hurling lightning bolts down on the Dacians, so kind of supporting that they were doing the right thing, they were fighting the right people because they were getting helps from the gods. Another god that was also included is Poseidon. He's actually under the river, and he's overlooking like the battle going on. And the Dacians are also portrayed as like barbarians and all this stuff, but at the base of the column, there's all of the weapons from the Dacians are included to show like how hard they struggled to overcome this, but they were also inferior opponents at the same time. Yeah, all of the Roman soldiers, they were all dressed in nice clothing to really separate to contrast between the Romans and the Dacians. That's all. Yeah, there's also, if you look, there's also like at least 40 windows. It's totally dark when you climb up the stairway, unless and the only source of light that you get is from the windows itself, which is very, very small. It's not enough, but once you get to the top, it's bright light. So that also had to play in how this was also a tombstone for Trajan. Although he didn't predict it, that his ashes were going to be buried there, a lot of people believe that he was preparing and saw himself as a hero, so it's something he anticipated. I think that's it.